Yahweh Bahasham.
Shalom, 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 shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Wa, Gadash Rakah. Shalom, shalom. My name is Brother Abiy'ezer, Elijah Israel, here representing the FOH, Fire on the Highways Ministry on the 11th hour, bringing you the conclusion of the whole matter when it comes down to keeping God's commandments, in sight of being a minister of the new covenant, and showing you that you are covered by the blood of the Lamb. As we like to make it known, it's all about the kingdom. Greetings and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Peace and blessings unto the beautiful 1/3 and the speckled bird. Again, as we like to make it known, it's all about the kingdom, and I want to go straight to the point on the matters of Deuteronomy chapter 28. The reason why I want to discuss Deuteronomy 28 is because that a lot of people are losing sight of the Lord's commandments, of God's commandments, of the law. And I get what people must feel like overall. The reason why I say feel is because, again, our flesh is too weak to keep the ordinances of the Most High Heavenly Father. And if they read the scriptures upon their own understanding, and they're seeing that, oh yeah, we don't have to keep the law, it's like a relief towards their flesh. That is something that you have to be very careful of, because by the end of the day, you can't allow yourself to fall that deep. Remember, your flesh is a weak vessel. You as a soul, coming from the power of the inner man, being delighted to do the law and having the law written inside your heart, which is basically rehearsing and practicing it. You can't fall victim to your flesh, or I would say you can't allow your flesh to get the best of you. Therefore, a lot of people also, I want to make mention, is that when they read these scriptures, without purging out the inward man, without purging their hearts from the leaven of the Pharisees or the leaven from the world, they tend to get sidetracked on trying to seek out mysteries. Why? Because I do agree that knowledge is power. And yes, and I do agree that there's a difference between information and revelation. But also understand and remember what the Lord says: knowledge puffeth up. So again, you have a lot of brothers in this truth, as well as a lot of sisters that is seeking mysteries, and the mysteries of the kingdom. Because that parable, what Hamashiach has said unto the disciples, is for you to know the kingdom of God, to know the mysteries of the kingdom of God. Therefore, is it a place of having them to feel as though they are worthy and they are worth it of having the kingdom. Therefore, it's like a sense of like, yeah, God is dealing with me. Therefore, they may not be boastful in their tongues, but they will be boastful in their actions. This is where you have pride and ego. I would not bash against a brother and a sister, because we all came from different walks and planes of life, where we are all hurt and we're seeking healing. And knowing certain of these mysteries can give you the capability of having a boost of confidence. So because that we all came from a very damaged and hurt backgrounds, we are searching for things that is of comfortability. The question is that the level of comfortability, is it of your flesh? Are you putting your comfortability in your flesh, or are you putting the comfortability in the spirit as a soul? Meaning, are you leaning towards Satan, or are you leaning towards the Lord? You can't serve two masters. You gotta love one and hate the other. So you gotta make a decision. Are you gonna lean towards salvation, or are you gonna lean towards destruction? This is a straight and narrow path that you have to acknowledge yourself. Okay? So other than that, look, we keeping these commandments. And we're gonna live by the ordinances of God. Okay? I'm gonna get the scripture. Yeah, so this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. If you want to read from chapter 1, from verse 1 all the way to verse to verse 14, please do so, because once you gain the understanding once you gain the understanding of the Holy Spirit, and where it plays by in the new covenant, and how is it important to be washed and covered by the blood of the Lamb. These generational blessings will occur to you in a better understanding of what our people are supposed to abide and be in. Let it be the Lord's will. I'll be able to do a video preaching and showing you about the blessings, the generational blessings, when it comes down to, because by the end of the day, all these blessings contain unto where you stand at in inheriting wisdom as a gift amongst your generation. Because it says it right here, like, just for like an example, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 4. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body. What is the fruit of thy body? Your sperm. Sisters, take heed, because no offense, and I'm not trying to offend brothers as well, but even when it comes down to your eggs, therefore your reproductive system will be blessed, meaning that your generations, your children's will be blessed. What did the Lord say? That our future generation will be blessed to inherit wisdom, and she will be given and passed along our children. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground. So what is the fruit of thy ground? So in context, it means the harvest, the crops, our food. The Lord will be willing to bless our food, where our physical bodies will have that nourishment. But as you can see, wisdom is the bread that gives our spirit that nourishment, where it could be spiritually embedded, where the wisdom of God, the wisdom of the heavens, will be embedded within our children. Okay? Who, and how we're going to be able to forsake the law. Okay? This is the reason why they say practice makes perfect. Not one person ever, not one person that you know or I know, even yourself, forgot how to ride a bike. You get the picture? And the fruit of thy cattle, livestock, the increase of thy cane, of thy cane. Let's get the interliner real quick. So let it be the Lord's will, we'll get more. The interliner.
Strong's H504. Elef.
Elef, meaning cattle, oxen, and farming as a possession. So even our livestock is going to be blessed. Everything that the Lord has given unto us is going to be blessed. So we are a blessed people, a blessed nation, living upon a blessed earth. That's something that is beyond. That's beyond, like glorious. That's kingdom. That's the kingdom work. That's beyond beautiful. That the earth itself is blessed, and we're blessed upon it. And the earth is still blessed. We just gotta put ourselves in a place of being a blessed people again. We gotta put ourselves in a blessed estate, a godly estate, a blameless estate. So the increase of thy cane, so in the increase of thy cattle, and the flocks of thy sheep. And perspective, or and perception of things. The flock can also be your household. This is just an idea. Okay, just open your mind for a little bit. This is an idea. If the Lord bless you with wife or wives and with kids in your household, you as a shepherd gotta lead your household. So again, even your family can be increased. Your wife and wives will be increased. Your children will be increased. Children will be increased. Yes. Wisdom. Skipping down to verse 6. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. Skipping down to verse 6. Blessed shall thou be when thou comest in. Comest in? You talk about in and out of the kingdom? Maybe. But the way how I see it, I'm not trying to say I'm leaning upon my own understandings. But listen to me. Blessed shall be when thou goest in. So you can say in and out the kingdom. But the way how I see it, I'm talking about when you being regenerated and being put back on this earth. When you coming back, when you had came back from source, and you was reborn in your mother's womb. Also, as you becoming a new creature in the body of Hamashiach. Bless thou shalt comest in, and bless thou will be when thou goest out. Meaning that even when your flesh is wear off and you pass on, you'll be blessed. You'll even be blessed in the sight of the Lord. Once you reach source, once you reach the heavens and pearly gates, when you're bowing down to his throne, just like the angels and the 24 elders. So it's all in perspective of where you stand at, and gaining. When you gain the knowledge and you have the revelations, are you going to use these revelations to edify to lead the Lord more into where they should stand at in keeping his commandments? Or are you going to be in a place of semi boastfulness, meaning that you may not walk it, but you definitely talking it. You may not talk it, but you definitely walking it. Basically, you really believing that you the shit. That's something that the Lord don't like. That's something that the Lord had put in a place of you being cursed, not blessed. So let it be the Lord's will. I will break down these blessings on what it comes down to being blessed by wisdom. The only reason why I want to get down and start at verse 15 is that, again, these are the consequences of our disobedience. These are the consequences of our disobedience. Meaning that what we stood at and not keeping the law. Where we stood at and not keeping the law. Okay? Watch this. All right, con. So this is the consequences of our disobedience. If you could, Baba Kashar, as you can see right underneath the right underneath the title sequence, it says Leviticus 26:14-48. If you want to, Baba Kashar, read that yourself. Okay, but I do encourage you to read the whole chapter as well as taking notes. So we're going to start at verse 15. Okay. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to do all his commandments and his statutes which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So we're coming in a place where it's just like, okay, if we have the capability of keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments in the best of our abilities, in the midst of his grace, in the midst of his mercies, we will have the capabilities, and we can and we have it's just possible for us to not to basically not be destroyed as a people, to not have these curses. Therefore, understanding the fact that we broke the law is the reason why that we have these generational curses upon us today. Now, please be patient. I'm going to break down these generational curses. You know, you have some that is happening right now. You had some that had already had happened in the past, which is the fulfillment of prophecy. When it came down to us being in slavery, us facing mass genocide. This is to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is the things that we had endured and have been through all of our lives. Living in today's Babylon. You know, you know, the Native Americans, Gad and Reuben, got almost wiped out. You know, the Hispanics, which is like the Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans, you know, so and so forth. They almost got wiped out, and we damn near almost got wiped out. The blacks, we almost got wiped out, and it was also once upon a time they used us up against each other, all because we was in fear of them. This is what happened when we had broke the Lord's commandments. Though it was a part of prophecy, because he knew we was going to do it, but at the exact same time, as you can see right now, and if you read throughout the whole entire scriptures, in each captivity, he has gave us mercy and grace long enough for us to get our shit together. But for some reason, Israel haven't learned her lesson. She's being childish at the moment. She didn't learn our lesson. until the Lord had made it known, you have sheeps and you have goats. I'm taking the sheep and I'm leaving the goat. Meaning that Israel is in a place of self-examination. She got cut off the old woman and merged into the new. Therefore, but it shall come to pass if thou not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. So this is Moses speaking unto the people right after Egypt, okay? Which is the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, meaning all the things that he have instructing us to do out of principle, not earthly principle, kingdom principles, which I commanded thee this day. So even the Lord has said, look, listen, this is what I want you to do. That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. You're gonna be overwhelmed with generational curses. Now these are the generational curses. Verse 16. Curse shall be in the city. Curse shall be in the city. What do that means? Police brutality. Trayvon Martin, so and so forth. Uh I forgot his name. I was about to say Mayweather, but George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Emmett Till. The list goes on and on and on. The young man here in West Philly, his name was Walter. Okay? Curse shall be in the city, and curse shall be in the field. What field? Cotton fields. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the prophets, I believe it was John, and he said that he had a dream where the prince was the servant and the servant was the ruler on the high horse in the field. Okay, read about that if you have a chance, Papa Kashaw, because I want you to do the research and look at it yourself. Okay, so Curse shall be, curse shall be in thy basket and thy store. Meaning what? Meaning what? We're not going to be able to grow and harvest crops ourselves, but we're going to be being supplied by the enemy. Like for example, during slavery, they gave us leftovers. Though we're not supposed to eat swine's flesh, which they know that, which the enemies know that, Esau know that, but they give us chitlins, hog mugs, ham hocks, things that we're not supposed to eat. That is considered scrap from them, and they gave that unto us, which is a curse. How is a curse from eating pig? Again, a pig, swine is an unclean animal. So we're eating unclean things in an unclean condition. That's a curse. Even if we was to own a store from back in those days, it would be what? Destroyed. Well, every single Black Wall Street has been destroyed. Curse shall be the fruit of thy body. Curse shall be the fruit of thy body. Now the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of the Lord is departing from your children. Because it departed away from you because of your disobedience. That's heavy. That's real heavy. Now your children is being tossed through and from into slavery. Now our generation don't know who they are. Now our generation lost in the sauce. And the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind. Now, if you remember, it's speaking about cattle, okay, in an interliner earlier. But also, kind also means possessions. So even your cattle and your possessions in your home is going to be cursed. How is it going to be cursed? By the raids, Esau and other nations, and even your own people out of ignorance is going to come through your place and take everything. And the flocks of thy sheep, verse 19. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in. So now it's not speaking about the kingdom. It's speaking about how you're going to be reborn, and even when you die. Cursed shall be when thou comest in, and cursed shall be when thou goest out. That's heavy, isn't it? Generational curse. Cursed while you living, cursed while you dying. Salakia Abba, but that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing. So, in divinations, evil, unclean spirits having their way with us. Why? Because we want to lean upon our own vile understandings. We wanted to lean upon basically the ways of Hashatan, the ways of Satan, and our day-to-day ways of living. So the Lord had gave us over to our vile affections. So he sent upon us cursing, vexation, and rebuke. So he's constantly correcting us. He's constantly basically whooping our behinds. We're in a state of not being comfortable. Why? Because we want to be comfortable. We wanted to be comfortable in our flesh and not in the Lord. So because we didn't want to be comfortable in the Lord, we wanted to be comfortable in our flesh. He made our flesh very uncomfortable, as well as that he made our spirits, our souls very sore and uncomfortable. In all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do. So everything that you put your hands to do until thou be destroyed. So it comes from a place of us basically building lands and nations, cities upon our backs. And until thou perish quickly. Come on now. Now you know how these other nations have worked us to death. As you can see, the curse that was placed upon us was damn near captivity, slavery, a bondage. Yeah, you'll see in a moment. Let's keep reading. Because of the wickedness, what? Because of the wickedness, no righteousness. Because of the wickedness, no the things that we did, for each other. No, because of the wickedness of thy doings. What is the wickedness? Sin. What is sin? Transgression against the law. What is a transgression against the law? You not doing it. You're a hearer of the word, but you're not the doer of the word. James 1:22. You get my point? You're doing the opposite. You're not even trying. It's a difference if you're actually trying and you're giving and you're dedicating your life to your heritage of these commandments, the heritage of the commandments. I shall like to say, you're not even trying. You're not even doing. You're just hearing the word, say you believe, and going about your business, doing whatever. whereby thou hast forsaken me. The Lord said that because of your insolence, you have forsaken me. You have forsaken my love. You have forsaken my law. Wait, let me repeat that back. You have forsaken my love. You wasn't abiding in me. You wasn't searching. You wasn't believing in me. The Lord shall make the pestilence. What's pestilence? Sickness, disease, cleave unto thee. Wait, what do that means? Diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, weak ankles, weak knees, weak back. How many people that we know, is known for getting headaches damn near like what, once every month? Arthritis at a young age. I'm going to say this again. Arthritis at a young age. Alzheimer's at a young age. Syphilis. HIV. Gonorrhea. The list goes on. Bronchitis. Different sorts of lung disease. All because we like to smoke. Inhaling the tartar, which is causing bronchitis. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. What happened to the Native Americans? What happened to Gad? What happened to Reuben? What happened to our brothers and sisters that is still think, they still living today? A lot of them live up here in the north too. In Philadelphia and New York, Ohio and Jersey, and Delaware, also in Chicago. A lot of Reubenites is up here. A lot of Gadites is down south. But a lot of Reubenites is up here too. But again, those that is of a Native American accent, let me ask y'all, right? What happened when Esau came? Y'all had chickenpox, right? Wait. I'm gonna say it again. What happened to the Native Americans? What happened to y'all brothers and sisters when y'all let them upon this land? Because of the sins that we were doing, including you. They gave you what? Chickenpox, right? The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 21. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. Come on now. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Verse 22. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption and with a fever and with inflammation and an extreme burning and with the sword and with blasting. Wait, hold on. This sounds like how we got conquered. That's what this sounds like. Consumption. Damn, hold on. What do we mean by consumption? Because I could go a lot with that. Consumption. What do you mean by consumption? We're going to go to the interliner, right? We will go to the headliner. We're going to hear the Strong's.
Strong's H, 7829. Shachetheth. Shachetheth.
Saheth. Consumption. Wasting disease. A wasting disease of the lungs. That's crazy. And I just talk about bronchitis. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Okay? Extreme burning. Extreme burning. What is extreme burning? Our houses, our villages, things that we own, the things that we have possessed, all burned to the ground. Inflammation, fever, and with a sword, us being slain, slaughtered. Like the type of like the things that happened at Rosewood. Like the things that happened years ago back in the 1980s here in West Philadelphia, where these innocent black people that were dreadheads was being killed by the government because they wanted to live off the grid. Watch this.
They dropped a bomb on us.
Police allowed the blaze to burn an hour and a half before calling in firefighters.
I don't care what they said. There was no justification for what they did.
They done burn up 2 blocks. Explain that.
I never imagined that the government would drop a bomb on a row house in Philadelphia.
It's an embarrassment to the city of Philadelphia.
My name is Ramona Africa, and I was there when the police dropped a bomb on me and my family May 13th of 1985 and killed 11 of my family members. I was there. I was born and raised in West Philadelphia. I went to Temple University and I was headed to law school. But after I met MOVE, I wanted to be a revolutionary. MOVE is a revolutionary organization founded by John Africa that believes in revolution, not in fighting and bloodshed, but true revolution. I joined MOVE in 1979. I was listening to what was happening with MOVE and could not believe that the cops were attacking MOVE the way they were.
Until today, there was a house in Philadelphia filled with people who for years confounded everybody. They called themselves MOVE and never said what that meant. They tried to live in the city as if it were the forest, ignoring modern plumbing, trash collection, or rat control. They offended the neighbors first and then the city, which ordered them out last year. Today, the city went to move them.
As firemen crawled forward with a water hose, shots rang out.
The MOVE 9 were 9 of our sisters and brothers who were arrested unlawfully for the murder of a police officer and given a 30 to 100 year sentence.
Last December, 9 MOVE members went on trial for the death of Officer Ramp.
Everybody knew that MOVE did not kill a cop because MOVE was in the basement. Officer James Ramp was standing up on street level, and the media said he was shot on a downward angle. So there's no way that MOVE could have shot him.
They wear their hair in dreadlocks because they reject combs as symbols of industrialization, which their back-to-nature philosophy opposes. Their basic goal is to overthrow the present system of government, which they consider to be corrupt.
People thought MOVE was crazy at that time because of the media.
They spew out obscenities when they talk.
Terrible language.
Rizzo said that he wanted MOVE out of Philadelphia.
It's amazing that this group has been running loose now for a half a dozen, couple, 3, 4 years that I know of.
With extreme burning and with the sword and with blasting. You already know that means shells flying. And with mildew. That's us being the bottom of the barrel. And they shall pursue thee until thou perish. perish. A lot of us died over the courses of 400 years. Verse 23, and thy haven or heaven, or thy haven or heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under shall be iron. So basically what? Hard conditions and hard times. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. Meaning that what? He ain't going to provide for the things. He ain't going to provide for our crops. He ain't going to provide for us. What happened to the indigenous Aztecs and the Mayans, which is Issachar and Zebulon? Remember the history when they had extreme drought? The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven it shall come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. So the Lord ain't even going to try to provide for us. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Remember what I showed you earlier. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. So throughout history, Africans, well, not really Africans, are people that was in Africa at the time, as in Zulu and Ashanti, Igbo, Bantu, the Native Americans, Gad and Reuben. We basically, even the Hispanics, we all was jacking them up with swords, shields, spears, and bows and arrows. But once they bring out them modern day slingshots, pop, 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 we was dropping down like flies. We was fleeing all over the place. We went up against them one way, but we fled 7 ways as soon as they brung out the muskets. And shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. So now we're being spread throughout the 4 corners of the earth trying to seek for refuge. The Lord was using our enemies, which is the Caucasians, Edomites. Matter of fact, read the book of read the book of Psalms, chapter 83. Chapter 83. Read the book. Read that. That's going to give you a higher perspective. Definitely a higher perspective. Verse 26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beast of the field, and no man shall fray them away. That speaks for itself. The Lord shall smite thee with the boach of Egypt. Strong's again.
Strong's H 7822. Shachin.
So you will smite us with boils, inflamed spot, inflammation, eruption of man, leprosy of man and beast. So he's going to put us in a place of being very sick men, very sick people. Us being very, very sick. Leprosy, meaning what? Uncleanliness. Remember what he did to Egypt? Remember the plagues in Egypt? They had boils. So he's going to put us in a state of those. Okay? Alright. The Lord shall smite thee with both of Egypt. So the plagues of Egypt, the boils, the inflammation from Egypt. and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with an itch, where thou canst not be healed. So basically, this is just diseases, being sick. Okay? The Lord shall the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and the astonishment of heart. So what do that means? The astonishment of heart. Look at this picture right here. Basically being drugged up, basically for what I perceive it to be, drugged up out of our minds. Madness meaning craziness. Blindness meaning that you cannot see. Astonishment meaning awkwardly surprised, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? Watch this. Salakia, folks, because my dog is whining. Madness. What do madness means? Madness. Basically being insane. Look. Right here. Craziness. Craziness. Okay? Madness. Blindness. Blindness. Blind. Blind. We all know what blindness means. It's astonishment. What do astonishment mean? Astonishment meaning bewilderment, superfaction. We're gonna go on Google. A feeling of being perplexed and confused. Therefore, the Lord shall smite thee with madness, or being insane. Blindness, meaning that you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do without a purpose. And astonishment, meaning perplexed, being confused of heart. The heart is of the mind. Watch this. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Check this out. This is a very old Jewish cemetery. Saying cemetery for Jewish people. How do I know this? Now, watch this. A Israeli or Israelite cemetery and amongst the hood. Proving to you that Israel is pretty much in a dead state. Symbolisms everywhere. And those unclean spirits. Verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. So spiritually, you're coming from a place of searching for light. Remember, I told you at the very beginning of the video, a lot of us brothers and sisters are looking for healing. And he said he'll smite us with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. So we're spiritually seeing darkness. We don't know what to do with ourselves. As far as when it comes down to our higher calling and purpose. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth the darkness. So that's us trying to see our way out. Okay? And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. So prosper in thy ways. Okay, yes, you see a lot of people still getting money, still being rich, still getting rich, things of that nature. But also understand this: is it by the ways of the Lord, or is it by the ways of the flesh? It's two different ways of living. Okay, it's two different ways of living. Let it be the Lord's will. I will get into details in that perspective later on down the line. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. So now we're being put in a place. Now we're being put in a place where we're being more and more and more and more and more and more brainwashed. Okay? Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. So now you see, God is not mocked. You will reap what you sow. Because our people, we always used to commit adultery, as you will read throughout the whole entire scriptures, especially in the New Testament. We was committing adultery left and right. So God is not mocked. You will reap what you sow. If you sow in corruption, you will reap corruption. Therefore, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. So what do that means? Remember in the times of slavery, every time we get married with a wife, a slave master will come and rape her. And thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell within. So every time we build a house, it's not really our house. It's the house for the slave master. Remember what I say? These cities is built off of our backs. Thou shalt plant a vineyard. So, mind you, cursed thou be in the field, and shall not gather the grapes thereof. Cursed is the fruit of thy basket and store. Okay? Thy ox shall be slain before thy eyes. So no possessions, no livestock, no cattle, and thou shalt not eat thereof. So remember how we used to starve to death. Thy ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face. What's the ass? Basically a donkey. And shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. So here's the funny thing in perspective. Remember why I told you that the sheep is representing your family? It's also occurring here how your children will be sold off into slavery. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto other people. I'm going to say this again. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. So what happened? So not only did you get the concept of us being spread amongst all the nations, but also remember in slavery how they would take our children away from us. And the main ones who are basically crying and longing all day would be our wives. Though that they was getting handed to by the slave masters. Verse 33, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. And thou shalt be oppressed and crushed alway. So we're always going to be underneath these other nations. Okay? Especially Esau. Alright? Especially Satan. Because he's enjoying our captivity as well. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes. which shall salt thee. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore bunch, with a sore sickness that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. Come on now. Sickness, disease, basically us being weak. The Lord, verse 36, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. Wood and stone. Wood and stone. So us being given unto what? Other worldly religions. Even our mighty ones, our leaders, is going to be tossed into slavery. Like, for example, if you read the book of Esther, during the time when we was in Jerusalem, and King Abiy'ezer had conquered Jerusalem and conquered our king Josiah, if I'm not mistaken. That's a perfect example. Okay? So our kings and everything else been smitten. Now we're worshiping other gods, wood and stone. So now we're celebrating worldly religions. Hinduism, which is evolving chakras. Hinduism, Buddhism, being a part of a nation of Islam. But in reality, the nation of Islam is basically Arabs. Basically, false Christianity. The reason why I say false Christianity, excuse me by my language, I'm not trying to offend nobody. But if you look at today's Christianity, they sugarcoat and they backslide against the Lord's commandments. But I will say, Thawada Abba Yahweh for putting in certain pastors' hearts to actually will want to keep the commandments and trying their best to teach people commandments. But at the same time, in today's worldly Christianity, only thing that you hear from these churches is, again, the laws has been done away with. Therefore, you're giving yourself unto your idol. What is your idol? Your flesh. So guess what? That's a form of a curse. Remember what the Lord said, I will give you unto your vile affections. Alright, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment. Okay? We will become a confusion. We will become perplexed. A proverb. In this concept, a proverb, if I'm not mistaken, a parable, a proverb, a parable. We talk about the book of Proverbs? No, not necessarily. We will become a proverb. We will become a parable. Like, for an example, watch this. If you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. We became a parable. We became a byword. We became a saying. We became something that really has no meaning. Just niggas. Just spicks, wetbacks. A synthesis of ethical wisdom and ethical maxims. You want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book. That was their wisdom. That was their that was the way of their ethics. You know what I'm saying? Stereotypes. They're just crack babies. Or they get mad at you, give us some niggas love watermelon, chicken and Kool-Aid. Now it's oodles and noodles. You know what I'm saying? With a little bit of peanut butter sandwiches. Let them get the turkey and let them get the turkey and cheese or ham and cheese with extra mayonnaise. I could go on and on and on and on and on. Oh yeah, they crack babies. Oh, don't go in their neighborhood late at night. They'll rob you. Don't go past 46th Street. Because once you go past 46th Street and you go into 52nd and beyond, it's dangerous. That's the hood. Oh, black men are sexual perverts. Oh, all black women are basically sluts. They're bed wenches. They're ugly. They all look like monkeys. A nigga man and a nigga bitch. I could go on and on and on and on. We became something outside of our name, which is princes of power and daughters of Zion. Hebrews, ones from beyond. We became everything else but our original name, which is Hebrew Israelites. Again, the book of Psalms 83. Read it. Okay? Okay? A proverb, a byword, a proverb, a byword, a proverb, a byword. What is a byword? Nigga.
She ain't never for the curve. You know what I'm saying? Chico. Nigga. What did he say? That's it. What?
Nah, I hear you say that. Nah, you heard me. I got this shit on video.
Did he say nigga?
What is a byword? A nigga. Amongst all nations. A nigga. Wetbacks. Redskins. Amongst all nations. Rather the Lord shall lead thee. So wherever the Lord had put us at, those are our names, besides Hebrew Israelites. Okay, besides kings and queens, prophets and prophetess, so on and so forth. They're calling us out of our names. Verse 38. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field and gather but little in. For low crust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but thou shalt neither drink the wine nor gather the grapes of the worms, for the worms shall eat it. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout for all thy coast, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thy olive shall cast his fruits. Now that's deep within itself. That's deep within itself. So we lost our anointings. Damn. Meaning that what? We lost the spirit of the Lord. Because we wasn't paying attention to the times and the harvest when it comes down to the salvation of our souls. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep within itself. verse 41. Hold on. So like it. I'll repeat verse 40 one last time. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coast, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thine olive shall cast his fruit. So that means that again, we're going to lose our anointings. We're going to lose our appointments. We're going to lose our holiness. We're going to lose the meaning of how it is to be set apart from the other nations. That's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy. We lost our righteousness. That's heavy. I want you to seep in. I want y'all to seep in. Have this. Let us meditate. A straight to the point moment. Let us meditate. That us losing our anointings was a part of the curses. Damn. Call her lying.